Ever since James Naismith nailed a peach basket to the wall at his local YMCA, teams and players throughout the sport of basketball have looked for ways to change the game. Just look at the Houston Rockets today. They've completely decided to forego the center position and just field 5 players in an effort to play small ball in Mike D'Antoni's offense. Or you could take a look at the Golden State Warriors. Players like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson made it completely normal to come down the court and immediately shoot a 3, no matter the score or time in the game. But way back before those teams were making fast-paced, high-octane offense a thing, a small private college in Los Angeles, California took the entire NCAA by storm. This is the story of Loyola Marymount and the system. Let's get started. Now you may be wondering to yourself, Loyola Marymount, did they play basketball there? For real? They did, and they still do. But their heyday came back in the late 1980s and the early 90s under head coach Paul Westhead and his style of offense known as the system. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, what is this magical system? Well, under head coach Paul Westhead, Loyola Marymount played a style of basketball that no other team in the country could compare with. It was run and gun, up-tempo, and in-your-face fast. No team could compete with it because they simply didn't play that way. One of Westhead's main goals in his offense was to shoot more than the opponent because if you shot more times, you were going to score more times. Under Westhead's leadership, Loyola Marymount led the NCAA Division I in scoring in 1988, 1989, and 1990. In 1990, the team averaged over 122 points per game, putting up shots and scoring at an astronomical rate. The Loyola Marymount offense was led by star players Hank Gathers and Bo Kimble, who transferred from USC and jumped at the opportunity to play under Westhead's creative and wild offense. In 1989, Gathers led the entire NCAA in scoring and rebounding, averaging almost 33 points per game and 14 rebounds a contest. In 1990, it was Kimble's turn to steal the show as he led the entire country, scoring over 35 points per game. In 1990, the team looked poised to go on a deep tournament run under Westhead. However, tragedy struck. Gathers had been playing his senior season with an enlarged heart, which he had known earlier in the season when he had collapsed on the court and gone to the doctors for testing. After being prescribed medicine to help regulate his heartbeat, Gathers decided to lower his dose before one of their games because it made him feel sluggish and not in control of his own body. This would be the last time Gathers would step foot on a basketball court. As he dunked an alley-oop from one of his teammates, Gathers was seen jogging back up the floor, and he collapsed. The explosive big man tried to sit up under his own power, but the trainer made him lay back down with Gathers saying, "I don't want to lay down, I don't want to lay down," over and over. Those would be the last words that came out of his mouth, as Gathers was taken to the hospital and declared dead an hour later. The entire country was shocked. Gathers was a legit star and had a great chance to make an NBA roster after his senior season. After his passing, Coach Westhead gathered the team together and told them they could end the season right then and there if they decided, and nobody would judge them for it. However, Bo Kimble rallied the team. Kimble and Gathers had been like brothers. Having played on the east side of the country in Philadelphia where they were born and raised, they won championships in high school and decided to go to USC together. For Kimble, the decision was easy. Playing in the national tournament would honor Gathers in a way they would never be able to do if they had sat out. The entire country watched in amazement as Loyola got past New Mexico State in the first round, setting up a second-round matchup with the 3 seed and defending national champion Michigan Wolverines. Loyola, without Gathers, blew Michigan out of the water, beating them 149-15. Jeff Fryer and Bo Kimble led Loyola with 41 and 37 points respectively, and the Lions upset the Wolverines in a massive blowout. Loyola's Cinderella run would continue, beating the Crimson Tide of Alabama 62-60. Alabama tried all game to slow Loyola down and get them out of their system, and to their credit, it worked, but there was too much magic for the Lions. They would not be stopped in their journey to honor Gathers. The 11-seeded Lions then faced off with 1-seed UNLV in the Elite Eight, and there their Cinderella run came to an end, losing 131-101. Loyola would finish the season as the 21 ranked team in the nation, with both Gathers and Kimball's earning consensus second-team All-American honors. The team set multiple NCAA records, scoring over 100 points 28 times during their season and having a stretch of 12 straight games where they scored over 100 points. In the NCAA tournament, despite being held to 62 points by Alabama, Loyola still averaged over 105 points per game in the tournament. Jeff Fryer also set records for making the most three-pointers and attempting the most threes in his game against Michigan, going 11 for 22 from the field. Kimball would go on to be selected by the Los Angeles Clippers in the following 1990 NBA draft. His career was short-lived though, as he bounced around a couple teams before fizzling out of the league in a few years. Coach Westhead's time in Loyola did not come to a happy ending, as the Gathers family ended up suing in what turned into an ugly legal battle, as they claimed that Westhead had had knowledge on the severity of Gathers' condition and could have saved his life by not playing him. Although the charges were eventually dropped, Westhead ended up leaving Loyola Marymount and began wandering the coaching desert. After leaving Loyola, he would get a job with the Denver Nuggets, where they averaged a league-best 120 points per game in the 1990-91 season. However, they also surrendered an NBA record 130.8 points per game. Needless to say, Westhead's time in Denver did not last long, as the team sometimes went by the Enver Nuggets because there was no D or defense anywhere near that team. Westhead then tried going back to the college level, signing on to be the head coach at George Mason, but he again failed with his run-and-gun system. After spending some time as an assistant head coach in the NBA level and also coaching over in Japan, Westhead eventually accepted a position to be the Phoenix Mercury head coach in the WNBA. There, Westhead instituted his system again, and in 2007, the Mercury won the WNBA championship, making Westhead the only coach to win a title as an NBA and WNBA coach. After winning the title with Phoenix, Westhead would go on to take another assistant coaching role at the NBA level with the Seattle Supersonics, who then transitioned to the Oklahoma City Thunder. In 2009, he accepted a job to be the head coach of the Oregon women's basketball team, but was again relieved of his duties 5 years into his position. That would be the last position Westhead had in coaching. Looking back, I can't help but wonder if Westhead's system would work in today's basketball. Teams are constantly stressing the art of high percentage shots, either shooting close to the rim or open threes. And that's primarily what Westhead's system was. Yes, it was a bit faster, but it's not much different than Mike D'Antoni's 7 seconds or less offense with the Phoenix Suns back in the mid-2000s. Nevertheless, it's crazy to see how successful his offense was. They led the NCAA in scoring 3 years running, and after the loss of Gathers, their run in the NCAA tournament was even more special. So, that brings us to the end of another video. This is new. What do you think of this? Facecam? Yay or nay? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out some of my old ones. And leave a like and subscribe, turn on that bell for notifications, and I'll be coming at you with another video real soon. Peace.